Welcome back to the morning show. Do you have an electric personality? Even if you don't, we can generate a little electricity here, or at least give you a cool party trick to help you make some new friends. And the wise guy, Matt Sellen, is here.
Good way to look at it.
To help.
Right. So we talked in the last segment about how quartz is an example of a crystal that has a connection between its mechanical motion and what it does electrically. So you can use a little quartz crystal. If you put a voltage across it, you can get it to vibrate, to set up little vibrations, and that'll put wiggles on the voltage, and you can use that to generate clock frequencies, and your computer uses that, as well as your phone, which you'd never take apart. There's other ways that you can use that effect, though. It's very interesting. In fact, microphones often work that way. Out of this telephone, I took two little microphones, one out of the handset and one out of the base. Inside these little metal cans, there's a little tiny piece of probably PZT, which is lead zirconate titanate, which is a crystal that has the same piezoelectric effects. So when it moves a little bit, you get electrical signals. So the vibration from your voice wiggles the crystal. That causes electrical signals, which then
transmit your voice.
Transmit your voice. And many microphones, perhaps even the ones we're wearing, work that way, although I think these probably don't. So that's kind of interesting. And you can get actually quite high voltages out of piezo crystals if you give them a sharp rap. So if you go to the store and you buy one of these barbecue lighters, these things actually, that little click you hear, that's a thing hitting a crystal that causes a voltage and makes a spark at the end here, which is kind of neat. And I found these rocks. These are basically quartz. And I'm going to stand over here, and you're going to turn out the lights, and I'm going to smack these rocks. But before you turn the lights out, let me just say also, I'm also going to, in this little vise, I have a crystal in here, which is Rochelle salt, which is another piezoelectric crystal. I'm just going to squeeze on it, and we're going to see sparks happening in this little gap here. So if we turn the lights out, we'll do two things. Okay, so first of all, I'll see if you can you see this? Can you see the sparks? Okay, so those sparks are coming just from me cranking up and down on this lever. And now let me whack these rocks together. Do you see that? Do you see the sort of yellow glow? That's the same thing. I'm squeezing the quartz crystals in these rocks. If you can turn the lights back on, squeezing these quartz crystals. Hey, you can still see it. I mean, that's pretty bright, right?
Wow, yeah.
And it's sort of stinky too, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. I got a cold, but I'll take your word on it.
Right. And the other thing you can do, I don't know if people may not be old enough to remember these things, but it used to be when you played records, static electricity was bad because dust would collect on your records. And you could buy these little things called zero-stat, and they can be used to get rid of static electricity. So let me make this balloon all staticky. You can see it is now. Inside this thing, there's a little piezo crystal with a little needle sticking out the end, which creates a very strong electric field. And if I just kind of go like this with this thing now, I'm generating a high voltage at the end of this little needle that makes ions or electrons flow to this as needed.
And now it won't stick.
And now it won't stick anymore because this thing basically sprayed charge on that thing to neutralize it. So this is kind of a blast from the past for some people. Okay.
Science in everything you do, isn't it?
Exactly. So here's the last thing. I just want people to explain this. We're going to come back on January 7th. I won't be here for 2 weeks. But here is an interesting crystal, and it has the interesting effect. See that?
Little magnet. Well,
what it does, actually, when you look through it, when you look at the words through the crystal, it's double.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it has a property that basically causes you to see double when you look through the crystal. And I want people to send me email and explain why this works. This is a piece of calcite. It's just a very simple crystal, and it has this beautiful property. See that?
Yeah. Why does it do that?
Well, that's the question. Yeah, so I want to know why it does that, and then we'll talk about that next time.
All right.
All right, if you have an answer to Matt's question, email him at wiseguy@uiuc.edu, or you can send us a message at themorningshow@wcia.com. We'll get it to him. Leave a message on the Morning Show feedback line, 373-3661, and don't forget the Wise Guy's home on the net, wiseguy.net. Stay with us. We'll be back.